physicist, I might not be marrying my husband in a few months. So that is especially we met working on doing props and backdrops and everything. Our next presenters are Amanda and Therese. From Syncytium camp. I actually just met these two ladies tonight. They are two bundles of awesome. So, let's see, Therese is a space physicist who does aerial acrobats on her free time, and Amanda is a biomedical engineer who does fire performance, and they both enjoy doing parkour. Are you kidding me? How awesome is that?
That's hot!
I know! Oh, and they also do contact improv, which makes me really even more fascinated.
Pretty cool too.
So their presentation is about Syncytium camp, which started off with 3 noobs and ended up with a camp of over 70 people. So they're going to tell us about their experience. Welcome to the stage.
You've all met me already. I'm Yaka. And together we are
Yeah,
and the Cho-Cho team. And we're here to talk to you guys about the Syncytium camp and how we started off and that's where we are today. Syncytium. So Syncytium is the name of our camp that nobody can pronounce and nobody can spell. Because it comes from a biological term, which is what happens when these 2 cells come together, multiple cells come together, and they merge their membranes, they keep their individual nuclei. Stand over there. Can you guys still see me standing?
Much better.
The pictures are really good.
Stand in the light.
In the light. Well, actually, that makes a lot of sense because the handmaids are like the nuclei, and we are Syncytium. So, it all started 4 years ago.
In the beginning,
we were
Hobo camp. So we were a theme camp, or an art installation. We didn't really know what. We were an art installation, but we were camping in our art installation. People didn't want to come near our art installation because they didn't want to wake us up because they thought it was a private enclosure. So, good question. How did we come from this dilapidated structure you see there?
to this amazing, beautiful thing. This is Camp Lakes of Fire 2013. And so we were both at daytime, nighttime playgrounds. We had healing spaces during the day, workshops, and at night we had dance parties, DJs, fire performances. It was amazing.
It was a good time. So in the beginning, we were a bunch of people with a lot of enthusiasm. We had a bus. We were like decorating the bus. This guy's passed out because he was probably working so hard. It looked super decked out. Like, what could possibly go wrong? Like so many of these other projects. Like, what could go wrong? Nothing, except you're not supposed to take a 1957 school bus to the fucking flyover. Unless you want to break down every single day for 6 days, multiple times a day, becoming impromptu bus mechanics, which is also fun. But after all that chaos, we realized that if we didn't want to repeat this experience, some things had to change.
Yeah, we definitely had to start getting it. So exactly how do you organize a theme camp? How do you organize it? Well, one thing that we've been learning is something that I think we finally got right this year is organizing your people and organizing your camp shit, your assets. And something that's really important is to have some sort of philosophy that goes around with your projects. And our philosophy is pretty simple. It's very minimal. If you have an idea, you're dedicated, you're responsible, and you want to do it, you can do it in our camp. We allow for it as long as you want to take control of it.
Actually, one of our favorite mottos is if somebody says, hey guys, I really think we should do this really cool idea. It's like, no, we change that and say, I really think I should do this really cool idea. That's the way shit gets done. So, what makes up a camp is a bunch of projects that come together. So we'll also be talking about all the elements that start off with the design and finally with the finished product.
So something that's really super exciting that's never seen before, not even to a lot of our citizens, is the organization of our people.
This is new, guys.
Yes, this is very exciting.
It's exciting for us. It'll be less work for us in the long run, so I was like,
Alright, look at this beautiful flow chart.
check out the creepy clown.
So something that's really important to us and the idea that we want to be able to keep in our camp is anything that can be decentralized should be decentralized. Everything that needs to have basically organization and administration before any event, we have the council.
Sorry, I made the wrong sound effects.
And that's basically people who want to get together and do all the pre-organization, which a lot of people don't, but for the group of us who do, we have the council. And so basically what we have is what we call the event integrator. This is somebody who's in charge of Burning Man and Lakes and kind of knows every single component and kind of involved with the project leads. And project leads are people who fall into these categories: infrastructure and logistics, camp installations, and art installations. And the super important thing to make any camp, especially our camp, is our citizens. They make it happen.
You guys should give yourselves a little bit of applause.
Yes,
You guys can take up a lot of audience. I can see all of you. So in addition to organizing your people, you've got to organize your camp assets. So important advice that we have to give you. So on with the projects. We're going to first start off with one of our projects and take you through a little run through of everything from the very beginning to the final. So this is our dome. A 32-foot geodesic dome. Starts off with a design that Mr. Fuller came up with. It's beautiful. You'll see it on our eye all the time. We take the design, we get the specs at our size, we get awesome people like Nico to do 500 presses through the metal. You make it, you beautify it, you transport it to the event. You do a few test builds. You smoke a cigarette while you're putting a rope. Tom Ansel serves the dome. And then you build it at Lakes and Fire. And then kids play on it.
Frank's kids.
Frank's kids. And then other people add lots of beautiful stuff to it, and it turns out it's this thing that's way more beautiful than you could have imagined when you started.
Technical difficulties. So, how do we start all of this stuff? Well, it all starts with an idea first thing, and this is like the design stage. How do you get people motivated to actually do what you want to do? You want to show them that you have a plan.
And also, it's super important that whatever idea you have, you've really got to be 100% behind it, because that passion is what drives other people to join your project. Someone just think, oh, this would be cool. Maybe 10 other people will think it's cool and do it for me. You've got to feel like dedicate. It's got to be your baby. Other people will also be fun. So once you have your design, you need your resources. So this is when it actually meets the real world. So you need build space, preferably somewhere indoors. If indoors doesn't work, there's tons of grass outside. We use a lot of grass. This is actually also done in Mulberry Hill. You need storage space, which we also use Mulberry Hill for, and your materials. Your materials are super important. Everybody in this room probably knows other people who knows where to get materials for super cheap. And same goes for stores in Arbor, Detroit, those are really great places that have like kind of spaces and maker spaces that we can use. Super helpful people.
The next really, really important part is once you have your design, you have all the resources, you need finances. I think a lot of us have been talking about finances. And what we do in our camp is we do not fundraisers, but fundraisers. So we've had a couple of parties in Detroit, right here, seeing people in different colored clothes. That's the Rubik's Cube party. Then we also had a Vortex party in Ann Arbor. This is a really great way to introduce people to the burner environment and still getting a lot of money from them.
There's people who don't know about the gift economy, so they pay for a really good time.
Another great way too is grants. We actually get a lot of grants from Lakes Fire, Burning Man, and also local foundations like the Awesome Foundation, actually through Ann Arbor and Detroit. And the super important part is camp dues. And for us, camp dues really cover the logistics and not too much of the art aspect. Funding for your guests. organization, your power generation. And another thing is too that we are not ashamed to beg, bus, or speak. Hey, mister, you got any money? Fund our camp.
We actually had an idea to dress up as super sexy aliens with a sign showing one of our projects saying that we need money to build our spaceship to go back home. We haven't done this yet, but this summer, find us in the corner of Stephen Liberty.
Give us your money.
You look like sexy aliens right now, kind of. Okay, so you got your stuff, you got your people, you got your finances done. The next step is to
Get into action.
So you gather your people up, you gather them for meetups, for build parties. I think Arbor said you want your build parties to be fun, for people to show up and have a good time. Good thing to know though, no matter if you're brainstorming or just talking or actually getting your hands dirty, know what you're doing ahead of time. Have an agenda so that you'll actually get shit done and you don't just spend 3 hours sitting in a coffee shop talking about nothing actually. Which we do though. We still do that. Except bosses started looking at some shit.
Sure. So the next step is you have your plan, you have everything together. How do you get to the event? Well, as we all have seen here today, transportation can be super helpful, but can also fail. So that is something that we can learn is really plan it out. Don't be like us in 2012 and take a Miko truck across the to the playa and it just like fails multiple times, or a bus.
Don't take a bus, don't take our bus, don't take the Catawampus bus, don't take Nico's truck. Early is the only person you can trust with.
Early is the best way.
Right with early. We found that out. She discovered this last year. It made our lives 100% easier. Also, another really important thing to know is schedule unloading and loading, so it's not just two people loading and
At the
unloading
event,
the whole time.
like shit.
Hey, Mom, your answer.
Alright, so you transported things and now you're at the event. And so what do you do when you're at the event? You've got your build team so that you don't have 70 people looking at an empty space wondering, well, what the hell do I do? Oh, there's a joint, I'm going to go pick that up and walk across the lake. So you make sure you have your people who know what they're doing, project leads that know what's supposed to happen, and just keep those small teams that are in charge of tearing or setting up and then tearing down.
Or if you forget something, you can use store.
That's true.
You see here.
Knowing what shit you have is important, and when you forget that shit, human ladders are great. Safety third.
So basically, those are all the elements that you kind of need to create a functioning project. And we have another video, a more artistic piece called The Mega Stripper Pole. So here we are, designed to sketch up that I made in my book to actually computer design fantasy. And then we got our materials, we use MakerWorks and Arbor, super helpful. We customize a lot of the pieces for the pole. That's the lathe, that's one of our beautiful pieces. Then we got to use the plasma cutter, which is totally awesome. That's us cutting out pieces. Then we had our friend Rob do lots of welding for the base of the stripper pole. And then here's us putting it all together. Beautiful base platform, and that's me painting it hot, pink, sexy vixen color. And then finally later at the event, we can pharaoh chicken
Things we learned.
And
Did we actually learn anything, Show?
I think we've learned a bit, yeah, I guess.
Just a little bit, just a little bit. So what did we learn?
What did we learn? We learned that it takes time and there's lots of trial and error for projects. As you can see, this experimental phase project.
Right, it's like on hiatus, it's not failed. Just be careful you're trying to paper mache a huge weather balloon 3 times. This was the second time. I didn't have the heart to take the third one. Give yourself time. This takes more time. This takes years, I'm sure. So give yourself time to do your project. This is advice that nobody follows. We don't follow it. We just make it the last minute, but we're getting better.
And the other thing that we've learned is it's not always great to micromanage people. It's okay to kind of give them tasks and let them do their own thing. Let them be free with their project, give them the creativity in the room. Because when people are involved in their own project, they're motivated and they want other people to participate. I think that's something really good that we learned. And I think a huge unknown too, what we just explained right now, is our organizational system. This is something that we haven't really discussed before camp. Hopefully it'll work. We love the chaos, we love the anarchy, but sometimes there's chaos.
Another unknown is how do we keep the camp together? You've got 70 people just in the Midwest area. You've got people in England, people in San Francisco, people in Iowa. And online, like Facebook is really great because you get to talk to each other and you get to have tons of divergent conversations that don't get again. But really, at the end of the day, you want to meet people, you want to touch them, you want to grow with them. Speaking of which, we have a Syncytium meet and grow next Thursday, 7 p.m. in Arbor.
Come see us.
If you'd like to get to know the camp, get to be a part of the camp.
I think that's pretty much it. Some thank yous.
So thank you to all the Syncytium members, those that have been with us in the past few years, those that are still with us. Like all the stuff that you saw.
We want to invite all the past, present, and future Syncytium campmates to join us for our 90-second dance party.
We also like to thank all these other people who are part of the camp, or any part of the community that are called, or we can just get to the